time when the first earthquake struck. Where were you when you first heard about it?
I was in Ankara. I got up at like 7 a.m. in the morning, and then there was already news about the earthquake. At the time, we knew the magnitude, but we didn't really know about the size of the destruction. And then when the second large earthquake happened, that we felt in Ankara. We didn't feel the first one, but the second one we did.
Was that the moment when you realised that perhaps this was an enormous tragedy?
Yes, but also I've experienced the 99 earthquake. At the time I was in Istanbul, and we knew from that experience that the early numbers of casualties wouldn't give us the true picture of the size of the calamity. And this was like that then, it was unfortunately like that now as well. To this day, numbers are rising, unfortunately.
The numbers are indeed rising, and the human tragedy, the human toll is enormous. Let's meet our next panellist. Tariq Oguzlu is Professor of Political Science and International Relations at Istanbul Aydin University. He joins me from Istanbul. Welcome to The Real Story, Tariq. You were in Istanbul when the earthquake struck. How did you learn about it?
I was in Istanbul. Actually, at that time I was sleeping. I got up at 8 a.m. in the morning, and my wife told me that we had a very important earthquake in Kahramanmaraş region. We just tuned to the TV program.
Evaluated as sort of like the investment potential of Ukraine, and that's where we are working closely together with a specially designated team, which is an NGO. It's called Advantage Ukraine. It's been set up by as a president's initiative, and it's been highly supported with by USAID, U.S. Agency for National Development, that are financing the team of former investment banking, private equity, and Big Four professionals. We've did an enormous tremendous marketing campaign with the help of WPP, the big marketing giant, who's agreed to help us pro bono, and we still continue advertising opportunities in Ukraine. These 400 billion, of course, these are not kind of like immediate opportunities and that can be retransmitted into projects. This is more like the thing, like the homework we all have to do during the next decades, and this is the room for the private sector investments in Ukraine. Although we already accumulating, with the help of this team, we've accumulated more than 50 real projects, real opportunities that are feasible, that are bankable, that are ready to pass the compliance, the KYCs. They all have international financial reporting standards, and these opportunities are in the numerous fields, from agri-processing to mineral resources, logistics, transportation, energy. Ukraine can be one of the biggest renewable energy providers and suppliers to Europe, and the same as it can be with the natural gases. We have very rich deposits even in the western Ukraine, which is currently in the full control of Ukraine, and it just needs exploration, needs investment. So we really want to rebuild the private sector as well. We're pushing out the Russian oligarchs or the oligarchs from Ukraine, then collaborating with Russian government. We are temporarily nationalizing some of the assets, but not for the sake of the government to be the ruler and to be the manager of the assets, but rather to actually attract the Western capital, to attract the civilized world to Ukraine, and show that we're open for business even now, despite these current circumstances. And if I may add additionally, so just to give additional comfort, the government of Ukraine and the Ministry of Economy in particular is working closely on ensuring the investment war risk insurances, that this product is actually can be of the great demand, and can really give this due level of comfort to those investors that are still hesitant to come to Ukraine, even hesitant to start considering. Investment is the time and effort consuming process, so you better start now. And having the concessional financing on board from IFIs, having the war risk insurances from institutions like MEGA, DFC, even UK Export Finance has actually confirmed that they're ready to support the British investors coming to Ukraine, which is very, very important and symbolic move from their side. Having the industrial parks, the tax incentives that we're offering here, highly skilled labor, I see the Ukraine as a really next big thing, and this is something that the business community should take advantage of.
And in terms of the post-war reconstruction effort, how would you see the mix between private and public sector capital breaking down?
I see that the private capital input should be even much higher than the public capital, although the public capital and concessional capital should be the foundation and the major pillar for the private capital deployment. And that's what we actually are discussing with the biggest asset managing companies and investment banks that are helping us now to set up this framework. We're closely working with BlackRock, and now JP Morgan also joined this sort of like potential consortium of the companies that are assisting Ukraine to build up this new framework, where we really want to put and use public concessional capital as the core, and then to build all the private investments around it. I think that there will be much more private investments than the concessionals public funds, but we cannot do this without the public funds, and that's what we are discussing currently on the multi-donor coordination platform that's been initiated by the G7 countries, and that's where we want to build up this multi-layer system, multi-level system, with which on every layer, with this blend of private and concessional capital, we'll be able to trigger even higher multiples, attracting more and more private capital, commercial banks capital, investment pension funds capital, because this is something that Ukraine will never be able to rebuild without.
Well, Minister, we wish you well with that. I can only imagine how busy you are right now, so we do appreciate you sparing the time to speak to us today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, a reminder that we will be bringing you live coverage of the Minute's Silence at 11 o'clock this morning, immediately after this programme. And then later on this evening at 7 o'clock tonight, Sky News will have a special programme marking today's anniversary, the war in Ukraine, 1 year on. Don't miss it. Some other business news stories for you now. An international airlines group, the owner of British Airways and Aer Lingus, has finally closed a deal to buy the Spanish carrier Air Europa. It has agreed to acquire 80% of Air Europa shares, giving it full control of the Mallorca-based airline for €400 million. It's paid Spain's Globalia €100 million for an initial 20% stake in 2021, having first agreed to buy the business back in 2019. Well, the news came as IAG announced it had returned to the black in 2022, a full-year operating profit of €1.26 billion compared with a loss in 2021 of €2.8 billion. Luis Gallego, IAG's chief executive, said he expected further profits growth this year, predicting that the company's capacity this year would be at approximately 98% of the 2019 level. Cineworld said this morning that it expects to emerge from Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection during the first half of this year. But the debt-laden cinema operator warned that the sale process it has been running in recent months was unlikely to realise any value for shareholders. The world's second largest cinema operator said non-binding proposals had been received from a number of potential buyers for some or all of its business, but it said none of these proposals involved an all-cash bid for the entire company. Well, the shares at one point earlier on this morning were down some 39% on that news. They've recovered slightly, but they're still well in negative territory on the day. And the asset manager Jupiter has suffered a sharp decline in full-year profits due to a combination of falling markets and continued client outflows. Pre-tax profits for 2022 came in at £58 million, which was down 68% on 2021, despite the amount of money taken out by clients falling to £3.5 billion. But Matthew Beasley, the chief executive, said that while the past year had clearly been difficult, the second half of 2022 had been better, with Jupiter recording positive net flows for the last 6 months of the year and for the first time since 2017. Now, tens of millions of Nigerians will go to the polls this weekend as Africa's most populous country elects a new president. It's the closest and most difficult election to predict since Nigeria returned to democracy following an end to military rule 24 years ago. And that's because candidates from the two main parties, Bola Tinubu from the ruling All Progressives Congress and Atiku Abubakar from the main opposition People's Democratic Party, are facing a wildcard challenge from a third candidate, Peter Obi. So what will it mean for Africa's biggest economy? Well, joining me now is Virag Foritz, who's the Africa economist at Capital Economics. Virag, good to see you this morning. I mean, one of the main issues during the election has been inflation. Outline for me the scale of the problem that Nigeria faces.
Yes, certainly. When it comes to inflation, Nigeria recently recorded an almost 17-year high inflation level. in December and January, the inflation figure tipped only a little bit. So the cost of living crisis for Nigerians is a real thing.
And of course, the government has tried to tackle that recently with a new banknote issue, taking out some of the large denomination notes. It didn't go terribly well.
Certainly not. Nigerians are queuing up at ATMs and banks to get a hold of these new Naira notes. But the new notes are in very short supply, so the queues are incredibly long. There are even scuffles and protests breaking out. Certainly not a successful demonetization effort, as it's called.
Now, both the main opposition, the PDP, and Mr. Obi himself, they favour economic liberalisation. Is that likely to be a vote winner?
I would say that economic policies are just one part of the electoral considerations. Personalities, religion, it all comes into the fold when voters make up their decisions. Peter Obi, for his part, has garnered quite a lot of support from the youth, and this is at least in part tied to the economic struggles that especially young voters are facing.
Yeah, I think there are something like 37 million Nigerians aged between 18 and 35, so it's a key constituency, and he appeals to them because he's significantly younger than the other two main candidates.
Yes, I think significantly younger in this case is in his 60s for Mr. Obi, while the two other candidates are in their 70s. It is quite a stark contrast for an economy and a country with a median population age around 18 or 20.
Yeah, is it fair to say that he's a sort of technocrat candidate? Is that the right way to describe him?
He's certainly gotten into more of the weeds of economic policy making, at least when it comes to the manifestos that we can dissect. So the Labour Party's manifesto does have a lot of detail on agricultural policy, on the tech sector, and all sorts of detailed plans, a lot more so compared to the APC candidate and the PDP candidate, the two main parties.
Now, what about the oil industry? I mean, Nigeria's oil production has been stuttering lately. The sector is underinvested. Is that a big talking point?
The struggles of the oil sector are certainly real. Last year, around the middle of the year, oil production slumped to a 50-year low, and only recently has it ticked up. As you say, this is partly due to underinvestment, but a big part of the story is actually insecurity. There's a huge scale of oil theft going on in Nigeria that the government is addressing, and they are attributing the recent pickup in oil production to these improvements in the security situation. The two main candidates, Mr. Tinubu and Mr. Abubakar, have promised quite a lot of investment into the oil sector, boosting production to really levels not seen decades and decades ago. When it comes to Mr. Obi, his focus is more on diversifying the economy away from oil.
Which is probably a good thing longer term, but I mean, you put your finger on it just now, that there is still immense corruption in this country, and that is really holding back the economy.
Yes, certainly. I think corruption is another key issue on voters' minds, and it is one of the reasons why Mr. Obi is getting all the support from the youth, who are indeed quite disenchanted by the elites and the rule of the APC and the PDP of the past year since Nigeria became a democracy.
All right, Virag, we have to leave it there. It's a complicated subject, but thanks for talking us through it. Good
Thanks
to see
for
you.
having me.
Still to come here on E-King Live, we're going to have a look at how global markets are doing this Friday morning. Don't go away.
This is the story of the night.
Are you feeling well?
There's this illusion of power.
They're going to cross to us live in a minute.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Brad Pitt is now a prolific producer behind the scenes.
I want to meet that guy. Okay, I'll talk to you. Yeah, okay.
I've had a great time here. I love England and would like to move here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Well, last night's rally on Wall Street, during which the S&P 500 ended a four-day losing streak, was followed by mixed trading overnight in the Asia-Pacific region. There were gains in Tokyo and Sydney, but declines in Hong Kong, Shanghai and in Mumbai. Well, in Europe, stocks have traded largely to the upside this morning. Only the DAX right now in negative territory, and that's more or less unchanged, as you can see there. A lot of solid corporates earnings updates again across Europe this morning. The highlights include the building materials group Saint-Gobain. Its shares are ahead some 5% in Paris on its results, while the Swedish radiation therapy specialist Ector, its shares are up 7% in Stockholm for similar reasons. Well, here in London, the FTSE 100 is also in positive territory. It's a third of 1% higher right now. Rolls-Royce is leading gainers for a second consecutive day. The shares, which rose by nearly 24% yesterday, we were talking about this time yesterday, well, they're up another 5% right now. Another engineer is also among the leading blue chip gainers this morning, Melrose. The shares up 0.5%. That's on support from the analysts over at Peel Hunt. Among the fallers, IAG is off some 3.5%. That's despite its return to profit. Outside the FTSE 100, Moonpig is off 1.5%. There's concerns it may be relegated from the FTSE 250 during the next reshuffle. But as you can see on the screen there, Spire Healthcare up nearly 1%, appears to be attracting buyers ahead of its results next week. On the foreign exchange markets, well, it's all pretty quiet, to be honest, ahead of some US inflation data this lunchtime. As you can see, sterling is barely moved against either the US dollar or the euro. Likewise, a single currency more or less unchanged right now against the greenback. As for the oil price, well, that has clawed back most of its losses from earlier in the week. It's set to finish the week largely unchanged. A barrel of Brent crude right now will set you back $83.26 a barrel. That's up a little over 1.25%. Well, with me now is the Deputy Head of Portfolio Management at Atomos, Eleanor Ingleby. Eleanor, welcome to you. I mentioned Japan earlier on. So we had some comments overnight from the incoming central bank governor, and that seems to have calmed nerves a little.
I think it does. It's been a huge shift for Japan. Don't often change that position. And they're facing a very different issue than most of the rest of the globe, to be honest. Many people are battling to bring down inflation. Historically, they've had the opposite challenge.
Absolutely. Now, I mean, inflation is at the forefront of investors' minds right now. I mean, it's been quite a torrid week on Wall Street. A lot of people changing their views on when the Fed may start to ease monetary policy. It doesn't look like it's going to be this year now. I mean, and that's really led to a bit of a re-rating for stocks, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has. I mean, with the recent meeting and them really making it clear they want disinflation at any cost, that's setting a very strong mandate. And I think it is making markets understandably jumpy.
What do you think has informed the Fed's commentary? I mean, the commentary has been quite hawkish. Is it the fact that all the jobs data that we've seen lately has just been so good?
Yeah, I think it really is that. And if you think about the challenge they're facing, again, it's different to the UK and to Europe. The US haven't had that added pressure of, of kind of gas prices because fracking. They have been doing it, which the rest of us haven't.
Yeah.
So it's a very different situation. It's fascinating seeing almost the deglobalization as each country and economy faces very separate challenges.
Yeah, whereas over here in Europe, it's a different story, of course. We're still much more prone to higher oil and gas prices. But some of the corporate earnings numbers, again, this week have been pretty good coming out of Europe and the UK.
They really have. Well, if you look at, as you mentioned earlier, Rolls-Royce, I mean, that company has had quite a volatile couple of years. And the new CEO, there seems to be a huge amount of confidence in him. I think it's not just what he's talking about, he's already starting to deliver as well. And Rolls-Royce, with the focus on the mini nuclear project and what they can do with that, and if you add that into the energy pressures we're seeing in a more wholesale way, there's a really fascinating story there for that company.
Yeah, Rolls, of course, I mean, the shares were absolutely bombed out, of course, so is it fair to say there was a fair bit of short positions out there in the market?
Absolutely, I think there was. I think people have been taking advantage of the volatility and trying to short where they can, and Rolls has typically been quite a good company for that.
So what have you heard from clients elsewhere this week? What else is on their minds apart from inflation?
I think it has been inflation, but also I think it's the geopolitical unrest. The Russia-Ukraine situation, obviously we're at a year on, anniversary today. It makes things very challenging. If you look again back to the FTSE and BAE Systems, despite them reporting very strong results, their share price didn't move the way you might expect. And that's even though they've had increased orders due to companies raising their security defences, people are worried about the cost of production. And also there's that added ethical concern of should you be profiteering from something that is making money from the war.
All right, Eleanor, we've got to leave it there. Good to see you this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
Eleanor mentioned...
to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820, or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamb Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prum Prum Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Tune in to On Point here on Star Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of digging
Darkness.
the hole of darkness.
So what did that?
Myself and the world not just. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on The CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Star Radio.
Empowerment is always key to development. Doing good outreach under the auspices of His Royal Highness Osi Ejatakbo VII presents Avatime Youth Empowerment Outreach 2023 with the theme Run to Jesus, Your Only Savior, Acts 10 verse 38. Date is Saturday the 26th of March to Saturday April 1st, 2023. Below are the dates and venues. 27th March, Avatime Vanle Community Center. 28th March, Avatime Amejokwe Market Square. 29th is Avatime Jogbepeme Primary School Compound. 30th March, Avatime Biakpa Community Center. 31st March, Avatime Bajame Community Center. Then April 1st is Avatime Fume and Jokwe Community Center. The time is 6:30 p.m. every day. Speakers: Reverend Michael K.M. Isiama.
We have redemption. We have been redeemed from the iniquities of the past. So you don't need to beg us anymore. Oh, in Jesus Christ, the Son of the living God.
Reverend Samuel Avagame and Reverend Prince Mauli Ejay, kindly consider with a generous heart donating to this noble cause financially, materially, or with your time and presence. Note, there will be free health screening during the day for all. Contact us on WhatsApp 0044 7851 205 626 or on mobile 054 959 1452 054 959 1452 or email us at admin@powerwordint.co.uk.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
The best radio show
all around the world. In your car,
At work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
The coolest way to start your weekend.
It's your man. Bekutu, show them you got the coco set. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Harry Song, aka Mr. Songs. This is the Kingmaker Baba for the girls. We're here. This is Star Radio. Don't go nowhere. UK, London. We they call them London for home. For here, we they call them London. And that's how you know. Just have fun and stay blessed.
This is Star Radio UK.
Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. fight for me, and I'm feeling good. Hey there, this is Archie, and it's Starr Radio UK and the morning show.
This is Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK.
Love for you.
Welcome.
All of you make my heart beat. You make a doubt they fade. Jesus, and that's what makes you great. You hold the world in your hand.
Let me say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth, and once again welcome to the Friday edition of the morning show. Today is the 24th day of February, the year 2023, with the time now 10:42 from the hearts of London. I remain yours sincerely, the one and only Archie. But share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages as well.
This is the morning show with Archie.
But I'm saying good morning to my team this morning, Mr. Olayomi, Mr. Francis Guy, my able producer. To Mr. Dan Tabiri, our money man as well. Gentlemen, I say massive good morning to you. And let me also say good morning to Anthony Adedeji, Pastor Momo, Bishop Adeshina, Bimbola, Moyua, Sir Maxwell, Olakunle, and all you wonderful people who tune in each day to listen to us. Samsudin, wherever you are, good morning to you as well.
All of you.
Aziz Badasarik, good morning. Okay, dokie, dokie, do. Why it happened that today is my birthday, you know? The 24th of February. And it's the same day that Russia invaded Ukraine. So a year on, we'll be looking at what is going to happen there. And also, tomorrow is the 25th of February. Now, those of us in the sub-Saharan African continent, and notably Nigeria. Nigeria is having its general elections, presidential elections tomorrow. Now, there have been lots of riots and stuff that have gone on. But looking at the naira scarcity and fuel scarcity, and the fact that people are actually struggling to make ends meet, I mean, to actually survive, I really hope that it's all going to be taken out on nicely. But wherever you are, once again, let me say thank you. And let's see. You share with us what is going on in your area this morning. But once again, I say welcome to the program and welcome on board. Play in the background something from Edith Morrison. It says, that's what makes you great. And I want to thank God for adding another year to my year. And to Sister Sandra as well, Bible Life Family Ministries, your birthday as well. I say happy birthday to you. That's my birthday partner there. But whatever you are doing, celebrating today, like the people in Ukraine celebrating a year or still standing and still fighting, I salute each and every one of you. But to our special envoy to Russia, specifically Moscow, Tassino, massive good morning to you as well. Okay, so let's roll on. This is how the program is going to be for you today. We're going to bring you the quote for the day, the weather forecast will follow suit, and the travel update as well. We move on from there to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe, and exactly at 11 o'clock we'll be taking you to Nigeria, where we have Mr. Olayomi Koiki in our North London studios going to be connecting to Nigeria, and then we'll be bringing you updates from Nigeria. After that, we'll continue to look at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe. And then at 12 o'clock, the lines are open for you to add your voice to the discussions. We continue from there, and then exactly at 12:30, we'll bring the first part of the program to a close. And we hope that today we'll be able to take you to Kent, where our money man, Mr. Dan Tabiri, is this morning. So let me say good morning, and once again, welcome to the show.
My pain took away my shame. Lord, you reign.
So let me tell you what is happening on the weather front for London and the southeast of England. What do we have at stake today? Okay, so for the weather, for those of us in London and the southeast of England, this is how the weather is going to be for you today and over the weekend. Yes, this afternoon we'll see bright spells develop from the north to leave partly cloudy skies. But the odd shower is also expected to move in from the north. Tonight we'll see a mix of clear spells and patchy cloud push in from the north. It will be generally dry, but the odd light shower cannot be ruled out. Cold with a moderate northerly breeze. So the temperature is going to be 9 degrees, the lowest is going to be 2 degrees. UV level low, pollution low, sunset 17:31, and sunrise for tomorrow morning 06:57. But when it comes to the weekend weather, tomorrow we'll have we'll see quite a bit of cloud with only a few breaks developing, mainly in the morning. It will be generally dry, but there will remain the chance of a few light showers there as well. And then come Sunday, it's going to be largely cloudy and dry on Sunday, but the odd isolated shower cannot be ruled out. Okay? So in a gist, that is what is happening when it comes to the weather. Let's have a quick break and I bring you the travel update. Stay tuned and don't you go away. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Okay, so keep your eyes on the roads. Keep your eyes on the roads as we keep you navigated. I promise I'll on the Starr Radio travel up there comes to every weekday from 10:40. It's now 10:48. Now, so on the underground this morning, Jubilee Line has got minor delays due to train cancellation. That aside, all the others, good service there. DLR, London Tramlink, London Overground, good service. Now, moving on straight to the major roads in London, I can tell you shortly A10, A2, A23, A24, A4, Blackwall Tunnel, Central London Red Route, South Circular A205 have all got closures. Now, A13 and A40 has got serious delays, so if you can avoid it, do your best to avoid that. Now, onto the river bus, as you know, there is planned closures on the Woolwich Ferry, but on the other side, all the others have got good service as well. The London Cable Car has also got good service. But keep your eyes on the roads, as you keep you navigated. Moving on to the final segment of the travel update, that is the National Rail. Now, on the National Rail this morning, ScotRail has got minor delays, South Western Railway minor delays, and Transport for Wales minor delays there as well. And that is where I bring the updates, travel updates to a close there. So let me say it once again. Somebody say it loud. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you, wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your commute for today. But you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the roads.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, for whatever goal you have set for yourself, you need specialized knowledge that will enable you to attain the goal. And that is the quote for the day. But share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages. Now, let's go global trotting. Now, the Finnish police release pro-Biafran agitator Ekpa, Samuel Ekpa. Is one of the stories. Yesterday I saw a picture of him and he was saying that, look at me, I'm released. Well, Ekpa, a self-acclaimed disciple of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, had repeatedly ordered Southeast residents to observe a sit-at-home and asked them to boycott Saturday's election. What do you think is going to happen there? And the police has arrested River Rep members with $498,000. And then pre-election violence, military orders begin raids on hoodlums hideouts. And then Buhari says, I remain committed to credible, peaceful presidential elections. Any aggrieved candidates should resort to the established judicial processes. We must have the confidence to trust our legal system. Really? Now, on one hand, the legal fraternity or the Supreme Court ruled that they should stop the extend the usage of the old naira notes. Now the federal government has come out to say, you know what, we're going to be spending. You can continue to spend all the others apart from the 1,500, the 200, and then the lower denomination apart from the 1,500. So if they are hearkening, or he as the federal, the president is hearkening or obeying or towing the line of the rule of law in their country and obeying, listening to what the legal fraternity is saying, he will not be saying what he's saying there. So somebody will look at him and say, hey, you didn't listen to it, so why should I go and seek redress at the Supreme Court if I don't like what is going to happen? But well. Samsudin, good morning to you. He says, God bless Yoruba nation. Okay. Yes, so we will be bringing you more from there as well, and we will have someone joining in, one of the team on the grounds joining in, and from Nigeria as well. So wherever you are, don't you touch the dial. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. In other parts of the world, as I did say earlier on, we have it's the first anniversary of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. We endured and we will win. Zelensky says 1 year after Russia's invasion, ceremonies are taking place across Ukraine to mark the anniversary of Vladimir Putin's full-scale invasion. In the UK, a minute silence will be held later. So we'll do our best to see whether we can join in the observation of the minute silence. Okay, and other parts of the world as well. Okay, Putin's fate is tied to his war in Ukraine. Steve Rosenberg looks at why Vladimir Putin set sail in a storm of his own making a year ago. I mean, he will do everything to win because he knows that if he doesn't win or he doesn't get what he wants, then there's going to be a problem. Now, U.S. billionaire financier Thomas Lee is found dead at 78. The private equity pioneer died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound at his Manhattan office. Local media reports. Why has he killed himself? What is going on? Interesting. So that's why you see that it's a money does not sort everything, you know. Okay, King condemns full-scale attack on Ukraine. The UK is commemorating Ukraine on the 1 year anniversary of the Russian invasion, and the King has condemned the attack. A detective shot in front of children critically ill. Detective Chief Inspector John Caldwell is in hospital after being attacked in view of his son at a sports club. It's one of the stories. And firm calls for new apprenticeship in phone repairs. Okay. Oh man, I think I'm going to go and do some apprenticeship in phone repairs. What about that? Well, it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. Cyclone Freddy kills 7 in Madagascar, becomes a storm in Mozambique. We thank God that it turned into a storm. Now it's not a cyclone any longer. But our thoughts are with those who have lost their lives there. It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. Parliament demands that Jane Mensah appears over controversial CI. It's one of the stories making the rounds. Would she? Wouldn't she? After the election, when she was summoned, she decided not to appear. Well, government did back her. So what is happening? Okay, and then 57 years ago today, the first coup d'etat happened in Ghana as well. The overthrow of Kwame Nkrumah. The other time, I think I was having a chat with my brother, Mr. Francis Gaye, and then I was telling him about what happened a year after I was born. You know, a year after I was born, Kwame Nkrumah was overthrown. I was like, So what happened? Am I overthrowing people? My goodness. But whatever it is, if you're celebrating anything special, anything of the sort, we want to stand with you. And we say thank you very much for everything that you do in support of Star Radio UK. I selected a very nice song commemorating my big day today. Yes, not my. It's my. Yeah, of course, it's my big day. It's my birthday. So of course. Now, if you're celebrating anything, I want to also invite you to join in on that. Whilst we take the musical break and prepare the grounds to have Mr. Olayomi Koiki join in. Stay tuned and don't you go away. It is Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And this is the goodness of God from the Joyful Way Incorporated version. Stay tuned. Don't touch the dial. I'm grateful to God for everything that is done for me. And for you as well. At least you have your life. We have to be grateful.
I love you, Lord. Oh, your mercy never fails me. All my days I've been held in your hand. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God.
Goodness of God is running after us, and I hope that it runs after you as well, wherever you are, especially those of you listening to us from Nigeria, where you think that what is going to happen tomorrow. May the goodness of God run after you. But we'll be having Onochita Matthew, who will be reporting live from Nigeria. Yes, joining us this morning as well. So wherever you are, just stay glued to yourself. Don't touch the dial at all. It's going to be fire, 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 fire. What's happening? What is going to happen? More and more going to be coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Of God by the Joyful Way Incorporated. This morning coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is the Friday edition of the morning show. But already God, Mr. Olayomi who has joined in. We'll be going to him in a moment, but we're looking forward to having on Onecheta Matthew, who's also going to be joining us from Nigeria as well. But wherever you are listening to us from, I don't know whether Yomi's line is frozen or something. Okay. I seem to be getting him back on. So the goodness of God, the goodness of God. Okay, I think we have, I don't know whether his image keep on freezing, but let's see whether we've got him, let's see whether we've got him back on. Yes, the goodness of God, the goodness of God. Let me say, Yomi, good morning.
Give me a minute, Archie.
Okay.
Give me a minute, please.
Okay then, right then. But it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Radio UK, the goodness of God running after us. But the eve of the elections in Nigeria 2023, and you ask yourself the question, what exactly is going to happen? What should people be looking out for? Well, in the southeast, they're saying that, well, we're having a sit at home. So are they going to be sitting at home, or are they going to be coming out to go and vote? Now, if people dare to go out to go and vote, what is going to happen to them? That's the question on the lips of most people as well. But you want to know more about that? Don't you go away, don't you go away. It is all coming away from Starr Radio UK. But share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages as well. Let me say good morning to my own brother Felix all the way in Aberdeen. Good morning to you. And as I did say, if you are celebrating a special day or doing anything special, like the people in Ukraine, we say good morning to you and happy celebrations, whatever it is. But I pray that the peace of God that surpasses all understanding will garrison your heart. Okay, let's take a quick commercial break, and once we come back, I'll bring you Mr. Olayomi Koiki. So stay tuned, don't touch the dial. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Okay, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. We're doing our best to sort out the audio from Yomi's end, but wherever you are, just stay tuned, don't touch the dial, and let's see whether he can hear us now. Yomi, can you hear me?
Give me just a minute. Don't pull it through yet.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I think this around he can hear us, so we will be connecting to him. And as I did say earlier on, we will be having a special reportage from Nigeria, from on the ground by Onoshita Matthew this morning. So wherever you are, don't touch the dial. Continue to keep your dial. So locked on Starr Radio UK. You know what? It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. So stay tuned and don't you go away. Let's see. Once Yomi is ready, we'll see whether we can get him on. Okay, so let me see. Yomi, are you ready?
Yeah.
Good. That means that Yomi can see us, he can hear us. So let's cross over to him this morning. Yomi, good morning. How are you?
Very good morning to you back in the studio, Mr. Archie. I'm doing very well, even as a technology sometimes seems to be failing us. But I will do a bit of trickling on that throughout the after the program. I'm doing very well. It is the Friday edition. It is Starr Radio UK. It is what it is. This is what we do best. Bringing the news from around the globe to all our listeners from around the world. And I say good morning once again, Archie, and good morning, Frank. Good morning to everyone that have joined us. And we say welcome to Starr Radio UK.
Yes. Today, somebody call it the D-Day, or the day before the real thing happens. Now, on the ground, do you think everything is peaceful? Things are ready with everything. Just in general, before we go to the substantive issues that we want to look at.
Well, there's a lot happening right now. I can see more security personnel that have arrived into Nigeria into different states, and they will be looking into, protecting, especially the most valuable equipment, which is the INEC materials, because if there's no materials to vote, then definitely there's no voting. So, security personnel in Lagos State, in the Southeast, and like we say, it's just now less than 24 hours as Nigerians will decide, an election that has been a lot of conversation in the last 4 years, when the last election was held in 2019. This is completely different from 4 years ago.
Interesting. Now, looking at the situation on the ground, now Buhari has come out to say that, look, you know what? We have to all hearken to the rule of law. So if you go to the elections and it happens that you have any issue at all, which I know that there's going to be issues because of all these atrocities, everything that seems to be going on, go or use the legal means to seek redress. But as I was saying earlier on, people who are listening in and hearing everything that he's saying is like you. Do you remember just a few days ago or weeks ago, call it a few days, let me call it that way, the Supreme Court ruling that allow the old Naira notes to be used, and you say that no, we can only use two. So virtually you are flouting the law, the ruling of the Supreme Court. Why do you tell us to go to the Supreme Court to seek redress? Do you think people will be thinking that way?
Well, the president is trying to play, his last part, and yes, you're quite right. In the headline this morning, the president is saying that I remain committed to a credible, peaceful presidential election. And if there's going to be any reason why after the election, like I was saying this morning, we would know where Nigeria will be in 6 months from tomorrow, whether we will be in chaos, uncertainty, violent crisis, court cases, killings by political parties. And the reason for that is evidence has already proved that, this election, is a do or die for the political party that wants to grab the power, and even internal problem between the parties is also playing out as well. So, the president says if anybody is going to be aggrieved, you might want to take your process to the judiciary that he disagree with, because the reason why the judicial says the presidency and the CBN must allow the continuity of the old Naira note, but that is not playing out. And today, that literally means that the president has violated, the Supreme Court rules as well.
Interesting. Let's move on straight to the Southeast, where we know Samuel Ekpa, the Finnish police. Yesterday, I saw him on some of the platform that we belong on, and he was saying that I've been released by the Finnish police. When you get that, so see me, okay? And here now, the question is, now the instruction that he gave, are the people in the Southeast hearkening to it?
Well, there will always be a divided party. The Southeast believe that this is an appropriate time for them, to have a president from that region, and probably that will bring peace, unity, restructure Nigeria. But the Biafra disagree with that views, and the reason for that is, Nigeria unity is no longer to work, and it's not going to work. So as we speak right now, there is sit-at-home. And yet, we do know that it is not yet being done in a full scale, but some part have decided to obey that. And the reason why, remember that we played, the part of the clip of the interview that Samuel Ekpa gave yesterday, and he says that if they've been able to control 80% of the Southeast, which is the Biafra state territory, then the question then is, why not put this into a referendum to find out if truly Biafrans wants to go into an election in 2023. But like you said, after the news came out yesterday that it was picked up, there was a lot of different rumor that he was arrested. But yes, he was actually called for probably an interrogation by the Finnish police. But the news that went into the social media was something else entirely. And later on in the evening, he came to clear the air. We were trying to see if we could get him onto the program, but I could tell you he's a very, very busy person. We couldn't find out. We couldn't get him to be here with us. But definitely, like I said, we will be going to, Ibadan, and then we also have a standby in Lagos State where we're going to connect the phone line as soon as we are ready to get a feed of what is happening. We can't get a feed of what is happening in the Southeast But based on the the picture rate and the video that I'm seeing on the social media, definitely people are buying to the sit at home. But the military is also saying that they are now clearing out the hideout, and they are also out there to make sure that tomorrow election takes place in the southeast. But tomorrow will be much more in the southeast because there's more eyes in that particular region.
Well, listen to Starr Radio UK updates from Nigeria. Mr. Olayomi Koike in our North London studios. I'm Archie here in the South studios, and we are looking at what is happening on the election eve. Now, let's look at the work that the military seem to be doing at the moment, where they're saying they are clearing hoodlums and other raiding hideout of people of that sort. Now, which people at the moment, do you have information as to which people? Is it like those who are agitating that we don't want to be part of it? Are they them that they are chasing, or like we have the Fulani headsmen who have been trying to raid places, and they are the ones that they are going after? Who are they going after in this instance?
Well, it's not just Southeast. Yesterday, 2 local government chairmen in Kano were apprehended, for carrying arms and also disturbing, the rally that is still going on for the NNPP presidential aspirant or candidate Kwankwaso, and we saw, vehicles burnt in Kano as well. So we're talking about not just every, region, but the military says they're clearing out as much as what they could, because they believe that will be the only way, that will have a kind of a peace for the election. So pre-election violence, military begins raid out on hoodlums. In Lagos State, some 3 weeks ago precisely, we saw the military moving very early in the hours of the morning and apprehending as many people as they can that believe that they could be used as part of the tout to disturb the peace of Lagos State. There is more military vehicle as I speak to you right now in Lagos State. But what we can say is the military, the police, and the Department of the State Services has begun massive raid on the island of Hoodlum as a preemptive measure to curb violence in the election. As part of the crackdown, no fewer than 63 suspects thugs were arrested in Kano yesterday after the Hoodlum, like I said, attacked the New Nigerian People's Party supporter. It also learned that 4 persons were killed while 10 vehicles were destroyed during an attack in also Nimbawa Zaria Road. It was also learned that the NNPP supporters were also on their way to Kanwa Dangora on the outskirts of the city to receive the party presidential candidate Rabiu Kwankwaso when this incident happened. Also, we know that as of this morning, there's also a news that is already out there that almost $500,000 was found in a particular honorable where, remember that we told you that in Rivers State, a radio station and a TV station was destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
That is the same honorable that have been apprehended with $500,000. What is the money for? What is the purpose of that? According to the information, Dr. Chinyere Igwe, a member of the House of Representatives, has been arrested with a bundle of dollars along Anna Road in Port Harcourt. The police has confirmed that, and he also says that this money is part of what they're going to be using for the campaign for the PDP in Rivers State.
Now, Dr. Chinyere, was he the owner of those TV stations? Is that all he is?
Well, yes. According to the information, he's part of the owner of such, institution. Yes.
But is there any law against him having that amount of money? Because people could have bullion vans in their homes, and they think that is all right.
Well, that is the question, and this is where vote buying comes up, and this is what the president is trying to avoid, by trying to induce Nigerians, by paying money for them to vote for you. According to the State Command, Grace, Igwe was nabbed during a stop and search operation by the operative deployed to the Independent National Commission office along Aba in Port Harcourt. Following his arrest, the Assistant Inspector General of Police deployed to the state has ordered swift interrogation and arrange of the lawmaker. Igwe will also represent the Port Harcourt Chamber of the National Assembly.
Yeah, let me go on.
Is a staunch supporter of the People's Democratic Party. So what we can confirm is, the question you asked is whether we can have people moving around with such substantial amount of money at this particular time in the history of this election. The question is, there's little amount that you can do when it comes to moving amount of money. But since Naira is not available, dollar is still available to be moving around.
Well, listeners, it is Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And I think we've got Onochita. I don't know. Let me see whether it's... Okay. Yes, okay.
I want to use the head so that I can hear well.
Okay, do so, continue to do so, and then I'll come to you. But let me go to Yomi whilst we try to get Onochite's sound coming through.
I'm with you.
Okay, you are okay now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Onochita, good morning to you. Can you please introduce yourself to our listeners?
My name is Onochita Matthew from Oyo State in Ibadan. Yeah, so I'm reporting from Oyo State in Ibadan.
Oh, okay, from Oyo State in Ibadan. Okay, Yomi, maybe you also want to interact with her before I go on with some of the questions that I want to get across.
The election is just less than 24 hours. If you want to put the phone on the landscape, that would be better if that can be done. Tomorrow is an election in Oyo State, just as in other states as well. What is the situation presently that you can tell us, and the expectation as many of those that will be coming out to vote tomorrow?
The expectation there, although many people, even including myself and a lot of people, some people have been threatening the heavy security on ground. They are talking about when this thing is just election alone. Then why the heavy security outside there? So some people are scared from that side, and some on the other side, some people are being forced, because I have like 2 or 3 or 4 people that sells something around one garage or the other. The instruction given to them by the chairman is all of them should gather at the world. They will carry them with their boss to where they are going to vote. So they have no choice than to come there, because if they do not, they will not allow them to sell at that place that they are selling. And 3, we have some politicians too that will come out that will say they want to vote. It's their own right, but based on what I'm saying, it's just some set of people that will come out tomorrow to vote, and some many set, like let me say 60 to 40%. 40% will come out tomorrow to vote, and 60 will not come out. And out of those 40 that will come out, many of them were being forced under some circumstances, and they have no excuse to go out tomorrow. So tomorrow election is not, to me, is not the definition of democracy, where what people are talking about, what people are preaching. It's not that. People just go out tomorrow to vote, so that the way they discuss it for them, that if they didn't vote, some people will hijack it. So they have to go out to vote. And people too are scared of hijackers, like coup, like all this military hijacking the power. So many people are scared from that side.
Okay. We have let's get from Lagos State Axis. We have one of our reporters as well, working on behalf of the sister broadcast on Star Radio UK. The election tomorrow, and first and foremost, can you introduce yourself to all our listeners on Star Radio UK, as we are monitoring the situation in Ibadan or your state, but let's get the perspective of what is happening in your own end. Very good morning, and let's hear from you.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. My name is Amataras. I'm around Lagos and the state boundary. So what we can witness here is that some people are outside. They are folding their hands, they are observing, and some people then open their shops. Some shops are closed as I'm talking to you right now. And also you can see some security men. They are patrolling with their Hilux cars. Some are even transporting the election materials. And also yesterday we see that we have also seen that some political talks were doing some meetings, under one train around the area here. So I think they're not there anymore here. I think because I think maybe they're just hear the news about those security men. They are patrolling and looking for all dogs out. So I can see that they're not there anymore, and people are just outside. They are folding their hands. They're not panicking. But what I can just say is that I think there's going to be a political party tomorrow. Like most people won't come out to vote. As I can see, because most of them they're not ready to come out to vote. But some are panicking, and some are observing what's going to happen because they have been thinking that this thing is going to turn to violence. So we've seen some talks that they have passed around here with the motorcycle. Yeah, that's what they used to use here. Motorcycle, buses. Because motorcycle have been banned in Lagos, so they are now in the state. They have been using motorcycle to pass. They are using on their cabs, those APC cabs and PDP cabs. The two political parties are strong in Nigeria. That's APC and PDP, and they are the most popular rival. APC and PDP. So I've been seeing some that passed. So most people are not. So that is it. And also, as I said, so they're patrolling around. So people are not opening shop. They are just putting their hands. They are outside.
All right, we'll come back to you in just about a few minutes. Let's go back again to the main studio back in Mr. Archie. I'll come back again to you right now.
Yes, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. We're bringing you live reports from the ground in Lagos State and Oyo State as well, where we've got representatives down there bringing you live updates from what is happening there. And I've got Mr. Olayomi Koiki in our North London studios and Archie in the South studios. Now, let's go to Onojita first. Now, Onojita, do you see the military on the ground? Do you see the military presence there at all?
And I just moved close inside. Based on the last location I was before at Iwo Road, there are some military armor tank. Some are going towards Osun and some are going towards Ojo Road. And those that are going towards Osun State are like, if I did not count it because so many have moved already, but the few I saw is more than 15. Okay. And the one going inside Ojo, they are also plenty. They just line up and they are moving towards Ojo. But I guess they are going into Odogbo Barrack towards that Ojo. That is where I suggest that they are going to.
Okay.
So the one going towards Osun, I don't know, maybe they are going to Osun State or Ikiti or Odo. So, but security operatives are moving everywhere around, and the NURTW boys too are doing their own moving. So
okay, now let me said, go on.
Like Matthias also said too, markets here too, and few came to market and few did not come at all.
Okay,
like this road I'm showing is a busy road, and you can see how scanty they are just moving one through. It's a busy road in a normal day.
Okay, Mateo, let me come to Mateo as well. Now, how is Lagos at the moment? Do you see the military presence there as well?
Yeah, the military are around here. Yeah, they are around here. They are also moving. They are trying their base because they are trying to move. They are trying to figure out out of what is going on. There are many things around Lagos and the state. So they are just moving around this morning. So tomorrow they are going to cast the vote. So they are trying to move around and that's what's happening here. People are not open. People are even open early in the morning, but they are closed the shop again because they feel that something might happen today, between today and tomorrow. So they are just outside putting their hands and
which will buttress exactly what we were saying earlier at the beginning, that the pre-election violence, the military has begun raid to the hoodlums, within each of the communities. So it's not just in Lagos. We also mentioned that it's happening as well in the north as well. I'll come back again to you, Mr. Archie, as we continue. The last 24 hours before the prepared election, and also what could be the outcome of such, as a lot of our team on the ground will be giving us this reportage, and I'll come back again to you, Mr. Archie.
Well, listeners, Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, if you have any comments, maybe you are on the ground listening to us and you are seeing a different thing from what our reporters are saying from different parts of Nigeria, which we know Nigeria is very wide, a bigger country. Please feel free, share it with us, and we'll put it across as well. But let's quickly let me acknowledge Pastor Emmanuel Chidi, who has also joined us as well. Pastor Chidi, good morning to you. Now, Machaya, now, do you think that the president of the security is giving people confidence that tomorrow they'll have to go and vote? Or you think that people don't even actually care about what is happening, but those who have decided not to vote are not going to vote? How do you see the atmosphere, the whole atmosphere? Okay, Machaya didn't hear me.
Okay, let me relay that back.
Okay, I can hear you. I can hear you. I thought you were talking to me. Okay, the thing is that people are just, what I can observe here is that there's going to be a political party here tomorrow. And when I say political party, it means most people won't come out to vote because they are scared of what might probably come up. I've seen there's panic around there, but because of the military president, and we've also observed yesterday that there are some political funds that they have had some meetings around some corners around the area within the local government of this area. So people went there to buy food in the market. So now this morning, we saw that the market are not open because they are scared of that. Tomorrow is election, so it's just less than 24 hours. So what I can just observe is people are not feeling the confidence. They're just trying to, observe what's going to be happening. Because what I can see here is that the ballot will not come out tomorrow. But we are seeing some millions that are carrying ballot boxes. People at their polling units, they are getting their names because they have pasted some names around the walls around this area there. So people are getting their names. So some people are just one corner, they are putting their hands on carrying something that probably happen. And this is the position just passing now. Okay, yeah, there's the position just passing now. It is Lexus, yes, I can see. Yeah, okay, we are just passing. And also, we've also witnessed that all these bureaus, they are people that used to call bureau, that used to collect money from all these people that used to, all these commuters, all these commercial bosses, they are not outside state because I don't know what is happening. Maybe they are going to die, they want to stand tomorrow, or maybe they are scared of the military president, maybe the military will pick them up. So they are not around here. The motos are police really, they are not stopping the motor people, those people that used to, those commercial bosses, they are not stopping them because they are not around. It's not commercial just passed now.
Okay.
It's one share around here, so they are just have to like.
Okay, let's go to Yomi.
Well, let me go back to Oyo State. Oyo is a very, very big state among the Yoruba land. And this goes to Onoche. As the expectation tomorrow, what is the mood of those that disagree with such an election, especially as we know that in Oyo State we have a lot of Yorubas and those that are also in favor of no election that wants a Yoruba nation. So what is the mood, as the election is just 24 hours, and those that are also saying that they would prefer to have a Yoruba nation. So what is the mood? And we can ask the same question back to, Taya. So let's go to your state.
Actually, sir, before I answer the question, I have someone passing by that hear our conversation, but he said something that is not voting. And I said he should hold on. Maybe we can also ask his own idea on it. So the person is here with me.
Hello.
Yes.
Go on, sir.
Yes. Yeah. Go ahead. You can. I'll translate. Go ahead.
Okay, sir. Only clearly nípa ìbò ọ̀la then.
Ǹjẹ́ máa dìbò? Nípa ìbò ọ̀la ni pé mi ò fi bí a máa dìbò dọ́là yẹn torí wọ́n sàn pé kò sí much kò dẹ̀ sí ẹ̀kọ́gun no cash nígbà yẹn sọ then since gbàtẹ́ pé àwa náà ò sí nǹkan tẹ́ pé anybody fẹ́ jẹ nínú ilé so báwo la yẹ máa wà happy àti jáde lọ pé a fẹ́ lọ dìbò.
Ṣé torí pé kò sí cash àti owó torí kò sí owó ni wọ́n ṣe fẹ́ lọ dìbò ni àbí nǹkan mi wà níbẹ̀?
No, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni sà, wọ́n ní ẹni tó bá lókùnnú àti agbára á lè dìde láti pé òun fẹ́ lọ bọ́sítà láti lè sọ pé òun fẹ́ lọ dìbò bọ̀ sí tí ó bá sókùnnú àti dìbò tí ó bá sókùnnú àti lè dìde lọ síta tó báwo lẹ fẹ́ kíbò yẹn náà kó lọ. Kò sí mi rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ni sà.
And those that are watching us on Star Radio UK, the question that was asked is, why is he not voting tomorrow? And just as we have discussed, he says there's no reason for him to vote, and the reason for that is, if you're not happy in a society, in a country, why would you want to vote? Especially with the money crunch that has been one of the biggest problems to the average layman, and that is what that individual was actually saying.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
We also have another one of the citizens here that also have one thing to say about tomorrow's election. What perspective do you see to tomorrow's election?
Thank God, I know that everything is likely to go very fine, because in Ibadan here, the atmosphere is very, very peaceful. So by God's grace, I believe that things will go as we want it tomorrow morning. So that's just it.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us on Star Radio UK. So let's go to Matthias before we let Matthias go, and we still hold on to the live footage coming from Oyo State. Matthias, the Yorubas, in that particular case, what is their take, for those that disagree or those that agree with the election? Before we let you go.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. The thing is that you see, as I said the other time, people are just of that. With someone now, maybe I should ask what's about tomorrow election. What things about the tomorrow election? Okay. Can you say about us for
Okay, we're trying to get somebody else to speak to us. That's what Matthias is doing. So let's go ahead. Okay. Again,
as you can hear now, one of the observers here is saying he's just observing and he's just hoping that the thing goes well tomorrow, and he said he's going to vote, but he's just observing, and because the suffer is too much, like the suffering is too much in this country, so it's just hoping that everything is good. The children like voting.
But Yomi, ask him who does he think, who is he going? He said he's going to vote. So fine. So that means he decided on who is going to be voting for. So who is he going to be voting for? Ask him.
Okay. Did you get that, Matthias?
You have voter's card, but you don't have voter's card, but you want to vote.
He doesn't have voter's card.
Oh gosh.
Okay, all right. He's probably messing around.
Non-starter. That is a non-starter.
Okay, that is too late now. All right, we're gonna let Matthias go. Thank you so much, Matthias, for the reportage all the way from the Ogun Lagos border where the report is coming from. I'll come back again now to you, Mr. Archie, while we still have Onoche with the live footage. And as he said there, it's a very busy road, but it seems that everybody has kept indoor or probably trying to avoid to be outside in just 24 hours before the election. So I'll come again back to you, Mr. Archie.
Yes, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. It is the election eve in Nigeria. And that's why we have got earlier on we had Matthias in Lagos State, who was bringing you a live voice over, and then we still have Onechita Matthew in Oyo State, where we still have her on, so we'll be going back to her. But if you have any questions, you have any any reports that you think you can give to us pertaining to what is happening on the ground, feel free to do so. Or maybe you want to react to what they've been saying, feel free to do so. Now, Onechita, is that do you see people who are hoping to go and vote? I mean, wherever you've moved across, have you seen people who are hoping? I mean, they are eager to vote?
Yeah, I think some that are eager to vote. For one thing, I just see there is those people that you say that are eager to vote are all politicians. Because I see some people saying they want to vote, and my question is, why do you want to vote? They said, because they want to elect the. Are you hearing me, sir?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. Yeah, go on. Yeah.
So they said they want to bring in the person that is suitable for them. And I'm not like, are you a politician? Which party do you belong to? So they said they belong to PDP. Some said they belong to APC. But for me to see a normal person that is not into any political party, most of them are just saying they don't know. Let tomorrow come. If tomorrow is peaceful, and they will come out. If tomorrow is not peaceful, and they will not come out. That they can't go out and so on. At least if you can see the music, a video, one of our musician artists did, let me say 2 days ago or 3 days ago, he did that music. It's online, it's on social media. That sang that I cannot go and vote, and they will use one matches or anything to eat my head and kill me for my mother, all those things. He sang that song.
What is his name? What is his name? What is the artist's name? Okay, later on when you find it, send it to Yomi, and then we will try to see whether we can play that. Yeah.
I will send the video to Oga. I have the video on my phone.
Okay.
So, but my own perspective into this thing, my own thinking on this thing is, if truly we can have that sort of security moving around, all this armor tank moving around, why is it not possible to conquer Boko Haram on all these atrocities that is going left and right? Why is it not possible? And we are seeing everything moving around. One thing that surprised me yesterday, I saw INEC sending me a message about this voting that is coming up. I saw them doing it. That means they have all our contacts. They send it to all my contact, all my phone number. That means all these government have these our contacts. And during COVID-19, they have nothing to do, to give, to offer. At least even a message of greeting, how people are living. They could not. And when it comes to election, they can do that kind of thing. And one thing is, this election that we are seeing, my own perspective about Tinubu campaigning for presidency, all those things, my own is like, you know that this election is do or die affair. You see that the step people are taking on this election is do or die affair, and election is not about do or die affair. Then the best thing I suppose them that, okay, my people, my Yoruba people that I'm conversing for, that I want to rule over, although you want to rule over Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba too, but it's more passionate about Yoruba because the slogan he used first is Yoruba local. That's what he said, Yoruba local. And my problem is just that, okay, when you said Yoruba local, then must you now put people into danger to get to where you are going? The best thing I think all these our politicians could do is let them come back home and let's resolve the house. If by referendum or by restructuring or by, at least they should come home and let's settle the issue, the problem, what is causing that problem before pushing everything. But what I'm saying with this our government is just that they are sharp, they are pushing in so that their own will will come to pass. And things are not done that way. It's just like you want to drive a bike and the tire of the bike is not good, and you still want to force the tire. I'm sure you will not go to, you will not reach where you are going. The first thing you should do is repair that tire, check the petrol if it is there, check the oil, check the engine. If everything is intact, then you can go. But this thing, you don't check it. You shall want to force that thing to go. That is what I'm saying in this election. They are forcing it, and the more we do it, the more this election will be more stricter. Like, for example, they are using that slogan, Emilokan. That means we are using tribe to vote for presidency. If eventually Tinubu won this election, then he finished his own term. What if Igbo come tomorrow and said, yes, Igbo will come? Will all Yoruba vote for him or not? And if we do not vote for him, that means we are calling for war. Then that war that we did not want
is still going to come. Okay. Listeners, just bear with us. I think Onechite's line is frozen, but I still have Mr. Olayomi Koiki with me, and we are still bringing you updates from Nigeria. So let me go to our North London studios where Yomi is, and then Yomi.
Yes.
So how do you see this whole thing that is happening? Because it looks like some people are adamant they're not going to be voting. Others want to still go and vote. Now we had Onichita saying that, well, she's thinking that if there's some sort of maybe somebody will win, or they come with some sort of call it a referendum of a sort, maybe that would appease people and know that this is the way forward for us. But what do you think?
Well, I've seen from the Labour Party, I've also been complaining that it seems INEC have not done exactly putting the Labour details properly in the what the Nigerians will be using tomorrow to cast the vote. So you can hear from Matthias that it seems that people are scared and concerned, just as your state, two different states. We don't know what the situation is in the north, the middle belt, and the southeast. But gauging the mood online and offline, I'm just reading a comment there from one of our listeners on Instagram. Those in the rural areas are most affected, and I'm sure they are not ready to vote. The question then is, if the country has been affected, for a very long time, economic-wise, are we going to force people to vote? People believe that, it's their civic right, just as the joint statement from Japan, Norway, UK, Australia, and United States of America. I've listened to the pidgin English of the U.S. consulate that says that we're not supporting anybody, but it's their civic right. But the civic right has not been respected. How come it has to be now, during an election, that the civic right is pushed on Nigerians? So tomorrow, we will continue to gauge the mood, and by Monday, when we will be back, we would have more to discuss, whether it is peaceful, whether it went violent, or whether it is inconclusive. But I'm not sure we might get the outcome, even if the election takes place tomorrow, as it's been planned by the federal government.
Okay, we'll be coming to that, the outcome of the election, the results. When do we hope for it to be declared? But Aziz Benasarik says, good morning, brother Koiki, and good morning to you, Mr. Archie. Lelandre Lamina says, good morning, Mr. Koiki and Mr. Archie. I wish the election will not be held. That's what he's saying. He wishes that there's no election at all. But as we know, everything the INEC is saying, they are all prepared and everything. But Yomi, when should viewers expect, or Nigerians as a whole, expect the results to come in? Normally, how long does it take?
Well, the bimodals that the government is meant to use is also meant to give us a quick, collation together. But we're talking about 774 local governments. Some of those local governments are definitely. How tomorrow is going to hold, in every part of the country would determine how soon a result will be projected, to the international community and Nigerians. But give and take, based on, the last election that we were on ground, we are probably looking at least a week from tomorrow before we can start getting a clarity of where the election has either gone through, especially that this is not the 2019 when we had two candidates that are main. We now have a third force. We also have a fourth force, Kwankwaso, in the north. So we are dealing with four and it will depend on how smooth the collation center will be able to announce each of the results from those centers. But all this we'll continue to monitor by the time we come back on Monday. But on Monday again, we would have the team ready to give us whatever took place over the weekend on Star Radio UK.
Well, listeners, so that is what's going to be happening. We'll do our best to bring our team on the ground once again. Let me say thank you to Matea, and then who was in Lagos State, and Onechita Matthew in Oyo State as well. But if you're listening to what, as I did say earlier on, what do you think? You have any comments? Feel free and post it, and we will read that as well. So, Yomi, let me come back to you for the rest of the stories making the rounds, and then what's happening on the social media platform. Over to you, sir.
Well, we just stick to the social media, and it's still the dollar that is now trending. A lot of Nigerians are concerned that there might be disconnection, even though the federal government have not said so. But intelligence from the MTN that we have been told they might switch off, the internet connectivity. They too sit at home in Enugu, look how dirty the place, very dirty. When Biafra come, we can't in such a dirty environment. And that is again coming from, Simon Ekpa has been one out of so many people that have been talked about since yesterday, is actually still leading when it comes to politics and trending on the social media with 173,000 tweets so far on him alone. The dollar is trending, Tambuwa is trending, and the reason the dollar is trending is because we just said in that earlier broadcast that almost $500,000 was found, in the hand of one of the House of Rep. I mean, that is a huge amount of money, and I can see him there with the dollar, even though we don't have the system to show you at the background, but we'll probably do that on Monday as well. Kwara State is trending as well, as more Yorubas will probably be waking up tomorrow. More energy is still being pushed as materials are still being sent quickly, especially the Peter Obi. They are moving as many people around as well, if you don't have the transport fare as well. So in a nutshell, the Yorubas that are also campaigning continue to say that the election is not the solution, and the best option is for the Yoruba people to stay away from that election. So that is how far that is happening on the social media this morning. But like I said, we will have the same team, probably maybe extra ready for Monday, when they'll be giving us report from every state on Star Radio UK.
Okay, listeners, it is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. I think I've got Onechita back on. Let me see. Hello, Onechita.
Yes, sir.
I'm good. Good. Okay, good. Your image is not showing, but that is okay. Now, just a quick one before you leave us as well. Now, okay, let me read this comment quickly. Now, Peru says, "Can elections solve Nigeria's problem? Capital, no." And then Lamina says, "Yes, bro, capital, no." So they are of the view that elections will not solve the problem of Nigeria at the moment. But Onechita, now looking at the various parties who are vying for the three top contenders, the front runners, who do you think has got much popularity in Oyo State?
I didn't hear the question well.
Yes, I was saying. I was asking the top three contenders. That is Tinubu, who hails from Yoruba, Atiku from the north, and then Obi. Which of them, of the three, do you think has got more support in Oyo State?
Presently, Tinubu have more supporter in Oyo State.
Okay.
So then the other party will share. Peter Obi and Atiku.
Okay.
We share the vote. Only the Kong and serious party members will go for Atiku.
Okay.
Peter Obi, Igbos down grand are fully conversing from virgin for him. At least telling people, broadcasting it. Igbo people stand strong beside him. But the Yorubas, majority, like 80% of Yorubas, are following Tinubu. others are Peter Obi and Atiku.
Okay.
But the question I ask people say, when you said you are a Yoruba, I wanted to vote for Atiku, Tinubu, or all those things. What they are telling me is just that all they care for is it's their turn. All they care for is their turn to rule. So that is the kind of thing that the foundation this our Yoruba have now laid down now.
Okay.
So when we are voting through our tribalism or all those things, then that means there is no democracy. So because I'm very sure it will come to a time when we should not be surprised when Wike now came out next week, next election, when Wike come out next election and is trying to tell you that Igbo is the turn. We have no choice. If you did not vote in me, that means we are calling for war.
Okay. Onechita, let me say thank you very, very much. I will hope that I will get you on Monday to give us a live feed of what is happening there. But Yomi, Onechita there before we run up that discussion.
No, that's fine. I think we've got enough from him already. That's fine.
Okay. Onechita, let me say thank you very much for that as well. And then we'll catch up later. Yeah?
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
All right then. All right. So, Yomi, before you go.
Well, I'll be back again on Monday. Stay tuned on Star Radio UK and the sister broadcast. But Monday we will have, the same team that will be ready to give us, live reportage from the southwest. And if we can get from the northern part and the southeast, we would also do. But for now, all we can say for those of you back home, stay safe. As a lot of you that will be heading out tomorrow, and those that probably won't be going out. The most important thing is your life matters before anything else.
Of course, your life matters before anything else. But if you want to get some food at home, get some food, get some water, some things that could keep you safe, because tomorrow they say that there will not be movement of vehicles around, stuff like that. So we hope that everybody keeps themselves safe. There's no point going to kill yourself or harm somebody because of this. You don't want to vote, stay at home. Okay, don't go there for anybody to harm you or anything of the sort. But, well, the destiny of Nigeria is at stake, and what have we got? Yomi, before you go.
Well, stay tuned to Star Radio UK. Archie will take you through the rest of the segment. And like I say, it is the weekend, and the weekend start on Star Radio UK, where we have so much program ready for you.
All right then. Bye-bye. We'll catch up later then.
Bye for now.
Bye. Well, listeners, that has been Mr. Olayomi Koiki from our North London studios, and we had Mataya from Lagos State, and then Onechita Matthew in Oyo State as well, bringing you updates from Nigeria, the election eve. What do you think is going to happen? Well. Let's see what song that I've lined up. I was trying to get another song, but I think this one will sound it up nicely. That is from Sonny Okuson, and he says, Which way, Nigeria? Which way, Nigeria? Enjoy it, and I'll be with you.
Yes, I want to know which way Nigeria is heading to. Which way Nigeria? Which way Nigeria? Which way to go? Which way to go? I love my fatherland. Oh yeah. I want to know. I want to know which way Nigeria is heading to. Many years after independence, we still find it hard to start. How long shall we be patient before we reach the promised land? Let's save Nigeria so Nigeria won't die. Which way Nigeria? Which way? Which way Nigeria? Tell me which way to go. I love my fatherland. Oh yeah. I want to know. Yes, I want to know. Every little thing that goes wrong, we start to blame the government. We know everything that goes wrong because
we are part of the government. Let's save Nigeria, so Nigeria won't die.
Which way Nigeria?
Which way?
Which way Nigeria? Which way to go?
Which way to go?
I love my fatherland.
Oh yeah.
I want to know.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
It's ruining the country now. Corruption here, there, and everywhere. Inflation is soaring high. Let's save Nigeria, so Nigeria won't die.
Which way Nigeria? Which way Nigeria? Which way to go?
Well, Nigeria, the giant of Africa. What are we going to see? Will the election hold? Will there be a peaceful election? Void of any corruption, bribery, or anything of the sort? Are we going to see anything of the sort? Well. Hopefully, keeping fingers and everything crossed, it will be a peaceful one. But the president has said that, if you have any, you want a secret dress, just go to the courts. But this is the case where the same person, when the court ruled that they need to, for a few things that the court have ruled, they decided to disobey it. We still have Nnamdi Kanu still in the consideration of the, the DSS. And they still say that they are adhering to the rule of law. Really? Well. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, we're going to be looking at some other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world. Exactly. I'm going to be opening the lines for you to join in at 12:30. We bring the first part of the program to a close. So please just bear with us, and then we bring you the money hour. We'll be looking at some of the dodgy schemes that seem to be going around, and people are losing lots of money in these dire times where people are desperate to make ends meet or to find something to live on, and people are also taking advantage of that. We'll be telling you more about that in a moment. But if you want to join in the conversation, just call us on 0208 0208-133-2257 or 58. 0208-133-2257 or 58. And then in Canada, US or the Caribbean area, it's 001-718-303-2737. 001-718-303-2737. Text or WhatsApp is 075-3966-1744. 075-3966-1744. Our Twitter handle is Starr Radio UK, and email address is info@starradiouk.com. So please do your best and get in touch. Don't sit on the fence. Now, if you want to subscribe some want to do, Skype ID is Starr Radio UK 1. Starr Radio UK 1. If you look for that, it will allow you to also make your voice heard, or your view, or your a video of you. What about that? Okay, it will be lovely to see you there as well. All right, then let's take a quick break, and we come back and we continue with some of the stories making it around. Stay tuned and don't you go away.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and intact? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination intact. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Prampram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prampram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. I bring it a time now to 8 minutes past the top of the hour, and that is 8 minutes past 12. So we got about another 22 minutes to bring the first part of the program to close, and we'll take you to our man, Mr. Dan Tabiri, to look at some of the other stories making the rounds this morning. Just bear with me. Okay, now let's look at some of the other stories making the rounds this morning. As I did say earlier on, yes. All right, now on the breaking news coming through. Junior doctors are embarking on a strike on the 13th of March. That's what the BMA union has confirmed. Junior doctors in England to strike for 3 days from the 13th of March. Okay, those are stories making the round. Now, King Charles has condemned the attack on Ukraine, and he praises the courage of Ukraine on anniversary. That's a story that's making the rounds. King Charles has condemned Russia's full-scale attack on Ukraine in a message marking the first anniversary of the invasion. He also praised the remarkable courage and resilience of the Ukrainian people after thousands had been killed and injured in the conflict. A minute silence was held in the UK at 11 hours GMT. Now, Prime Minister Rishi Sunak will also urge allies to move faster in arming Ukraine at a meeting of the G7 later. Now, Ukrainian troops who are being trained in the UK took part in the minute silence outside number 10 Downing Street. Mr. Sunak was also joined by his wife Akshata Murthy and Kiev's ambassador to Britain, Vadim Pristaiko. After the moment of commemoration, the Ukrainian national anthem was also sung. Okay. And then in his message, King Charles acknowledged the solidarity of the UK and allies towards Ukraine over the years, saying it was heartening to see they were doing everything possible to help at this moment, at this most difficult time. He said the world has watched in horror at all the unnecessary suffering inflicted upon Ukrainians, many of whom I have had the great pleasure of meeting here in the UK and indeed across the world, from Romania to Canada. Now, King Charles, who met Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky at Buckingham Palace this month, added, "I can only hope the outpouring of solidarity from across the globe may bring not only practical aid but also strength from the knowledge that together we stand united." So, coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, and then in the celebration as well, we will do everything we can, and that is a statement being made by Volodymyr Zelensky. Now, we endured, we were not defeated. President Zelensky says, vowing Ukraine will do everything to achieve victory a year after Russia's invasion. Now, ceremonies are taking place across Ukraine, including Bucha, where Russian forces were accused of committing crime against humanity. The occasion was not... Okay, let me take it again. The occasion has not been mentioned on Russia's state television, but former President Dmitry Medvedev says Russia should push Ukrainian forces back to the Polish border. Now, and it goes on further to say, our correspondents in Ukraine are right now answering your questions on the ongoing war, and I will bring them to you. As I said, Tosino, good morning to you there as well. Well, the conflict has become the worst in Europe since World War II. The UN passed a resolution late on Thursday condemning Russia. Well, we had what they call them, the Chinese, saying that they reckon that the best way forward should be a peaceful means, and that both parties should be brought to the table, and instead of just going on, and they are looking at the fact that lives are being lost and properties being destroyed and everything that seems to be going on. Well, so what do you think? But do you think that Putin is going to back down? He is going to be going all out, because, as you know, when it comes to wars like that, if you don't, and unless of course he comes out with some peaceful means to resolve the whole thing, but if it escalates, I don't know what is going to happen. And the UN Secretary General Guterres did mention the fact that he also condemned the fact that Russia seemed to be, Putin in this case, seemed to be threatening the world with nuclear weapons. So what do you think? Well, it's all going to be coming away from Starr Radio UK. Now, in other parts of the world, a US billionaire has been found dead. And he is a billionaire financier. Now, I was baffled. A U.S. billionaire financier who helped pioneer the debt fuel corporate acquisition known as a leveraged buyout has been found dead, his family says. In a statement, Thomas H. Lee's family said they were extremely saddened by the 78-year-old's death. Now, he said the New York Post reported that he died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound at his Manhattan office. The NYPD and an unnamed 78-year-old man had been found dead on Thursday morning at 767 Fifth Avenue. The address is where the office of Thomas H. Lee Capital LLC are listed. According to Forbes, Mr. Lee was worth $2 billion, 1.6 billion pounds at his time of death. Now, the police spokesman did not confirm the man had died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Nothing, noting the cause of death will be for a medical examiner to determine. Was it a self-inflicted or was it perpetrated by a third party? Well, we'll be telling you more about that as the days and the investigation brings out. It is All Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let me go straight, bring you some of the headlines in the African or on the African continent at the moment. And let me once again say good afternoon to you, Coach Joe, my brother. Now, deadly Chad protest, death toll now estimated at 128. Let me bring you that one quickly. The story says the Human Rights Commission, the CNDH of Chad, estimates that 128 people died in the bloody October crackdown on opposition protests against the extension of the transitional government. In a report sent to us on October 20, 2022, opposition demonstrations against the continuation in power for 2 more years of the transitional president, General Mamat Idris Deby Itno, had been repressed in blood in N'Djamena, the capital, and in other cities of the country. Now, authorities had initially announced that around 50 people had died, mainly young people, shot dead in the capital by the forces of order. Before re-evaluating this figure at 73 deaths, however, the NGO had denounced the underestimated figures. The official figures are different from those obtained from the investigation of the National Human Rights Commission, says the CNDH, now, which specifies that its work mainly concerned the towns most affected by the repression, notably those of N'Djamena, Mondo, Doba, Komra, and Sa. Well, it is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay. Now let's move on to some other stories making the rounds. Okay, in Ghana as well. Let's touch on this story quickly, and then we come to the UK and we bring the first part of the program to a close. Now, Parliament has summoned Jane Mensah over controversial CI. The question is she going to appear or not? The Speaker of Parliament, Alban Gbagben, is demanding that the Electoral Commission Chair Jane Mensah appears before the House over the controversial proposed constitutional instrument. The newly proposed instrument by the EC makes the Ghana card the only identification document to be used to guarantee citizenship if passed. Now, also inherent in the CI is a requirement that persons who want to register to do so at an EC district office. On Thursday, February 23, the EC was represented in Parliament by Deputy Commissioner Bosman Asare, but was opposed by the minority caucus in the House, which prompted some disagreement as Parliament sat deep into the night. Now, among those who opposed the laying of the new CI was Tamale South MP Haruna Idrisu, who pointed out that the requirements in the new CI will disenfranchise Ghanaians. Now, the minority leader, Dr. Kessel Atofosin, also insisted that the NDC group in the House would prefer that Madame Jane Mensah made an appearance to give the House the needed assurances before the CI will proceed to its laying. Now, Dr. Forson said that, Mr. Speaker, unfortunately, the chairperson of the Electoral Commission is not here. Now, I recognize, Mr. Speaker, that deputy is here, but it is not the same as the chairperson of the Electoral Commission. And it goes on further to say, as we speak, the chairperson of the Electoral Commission has consistently avoided Parliament. And the quote continues, we are of the view that we have raised today in this chamber since morning as serious issues that we prefer and will want the Electoral Commissioner to be here to give as the needed assurances. Now he goes on further to say, but the majority leader, say Mensa Bonsu, disagreed with the minority leader's demand and explained that the invitation sent out to the EC did not specifically request that Madam Jane Mensa herself appear before the House. Now the Swami legislator stated that the invitation was to two institutions and that his preference and the preference of the majority is that the two institutions should be represented by their heads. The chairperson then gave an indication that the invitation was indeed to the institutions and not to the chairs. Notwithstanding the explanation given by the majority leader, the speaker said that the new CI had serious implications and therefore the EC chairperson herself must appear before the House to make clarifications. Okay. I wanted to bring one other story emanating from that, but I don't know whether I'll be able to do so. But I'm doing my best to see whether I can get that in. So just bear with me. Just bear with me for a moment whilst I try to do same. All right then. Let's see, my friend, let's see what's happening there. Okay, well, so it is, so I think I need to leave it there. The information that I wanted is not coming up, so I think we need to, but Parliament last night sacked, officials of the Electoral Commission and the National Identification Authority over the absence of EC chairperson Ms. Jane Mensa Adokwe. Officials of the EC and NI has been summoned to brief MPs on a new CI seeking to make the Ghana card the only proof of nationality for voter registration. The CI is also seeking to scrap the guarantee system and limit continuous registration to district offices of the EC. The Speaker of Parliament, Mr. Agban Bagbin, had directed that the chairperson herself, Jane Mensa, appear for the briefing and represented at the highest level at the next meeting of the committee with officials of the Commission and the National Identification Authority. The Special Budget Committee on Thursday, after engaging the EC over the public election registration of voters regulation 2022, recommended the management of the EC and the NI brief the committee of the whole. Okay. However, during the meeting yesterday, the EC team was led by Deputy Commissioner Dr. Bosman Asare, while the NIA team was led by the CEO, Professor Ken Atefua. Well, so they were all dismissed and are going to reconvene at a later date, and hopefully we'll have the EC chair herself appearing there. But it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, for those of you, yesterday after the program, I had to nip into the shops to see what is happening on the ground. But fruit and vegetable shortage could last until May, says growers. That's a tough one there. Now, a shortage of some fruits and vegetables could last until May, according to producers in one of the UK's biggest growing regions. The Lee Valley Growers Association said major UK growers were delaying planting some crops due to high energy costs. Now, major UK supermarkets have been placing limits on fruit and vegetable sales after shortages. The government and industry have blamed bad weather in Spain and North Africa for the squeeze. The Department of the Environment, Food and Rural Affairs, DEFRA, said the UK's supply chains was highly resilient and well equipped to deal with the disruption. It added ministers will be meeting supermarkets to discuss how they can return supplies to normal. The Lee Valley Growers Association has about 80 members across an area that includes Greater London, Hertfordshire and Essex. Now, growers there produce around 3/4 of the UK cucumber and pepper and pepper crops, and a lot of aubergines and tomatoes. So, what is going to happen there? At the meeting, what will that do? Are they going to give them maybe some discount when it comes to the energy consumption or prices when it comes to the farmers using that? What do you think is going to happen there? It's all Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, monitoring what is happening there, it looks very interesting that today seems to be the day that I have the least people on the YouTube channel, and I don't know what is happening exactly, as whether my broadcast is not reaching out to, but I know that I've got Aziz, Lanre, Peru, who joined in earlier on, so I don't know, but well. Now, Tebet murder, kidnap, Kenyan freed after a decade in jail. The story says a Kenyan convicted in a trial linked to the murder of a British man has been freed from prison after a decade-long campaign to overturn his conviction. Now, senior Metropolitan Police officer who assisted the Kenya investigation omitted key forensic evidence in the trial of Ali Kololo. Now, Jude Tebet, the wife of the murdered man, says Ali Kololo is innocent. His conviction is expected to be formally overturned in April. Now, following an appeal hearing at the Kenyan High Court on Monday, Ali Kololo has been freed on a bond of 100,000 shillings, that is $790 dollars or 659 pounds ahead of the judgment. Now, David Tebet and his wife, Jude, my apologies, have been staying at a secluded resort on the Kenyan coast in 2011 when they came under attack. Now, David was killed, and the judge, and my apologies, I don't know why I'm calling Jude judge. Now, Jude was held hostage in nearby Somalia for 6 months. She was only released after her adult son, Oli, negotiated a ransom deal. Now, father of two, Ali Kololo, was convicted of robbery with violence and sentenced to death at a trial in 2013. His death sentence was later commuted to life imprisonment. Ali Kololo joined the appeal hearing at the Kenyan High Court in Malindi on Monday via video link from Mombasa Shimo Latewa Maximum Security Prison, where he has been incarcerated for more than a decade. Now, Ali has suffered in prison for 11 years, the victim of a terrible injustice, while David Tebet's killers remain free. His lawyer, Alfred Olaba, says the case against him was weak and riddled with inconsistencies from the start. In June 2022, BBC revealed that the Independent Office for Police Conduct, the IOPC, had been investigating Detective Chief Inspector Neil Hybert's role in the case since June 2018, and had concluded that the officer still being serving, he would have had a case to answer for gross misconduct. My goodness, if proven gross misconduct could lead to dismissal of a serving officer, but Mr. Hybrid retired in 2017. Interesting. And this poor man was thrown into jail. But stay with me, enjoy this song whilst I take you to Kent, where our money man is. Stay tuned. It is Star Radio UK. one, and let's go to Kent where our money man is. Stay tuned, don't you go away. What are we looking at today?
Today, just want to pick up on a conversation we started having a couple of weeks or so ago, mainly around the issues of scams. Scams, be it online scams, email, text. A lot of people get these emails or voicemail messages, purporting to be from HMRC regarding tax issues and all that. I want to delve into what some of these scams are, what people have experienced, how to spot them, and maybe if we have time, go on to look at also what to do if you have become a victim.
Yeah. Okay. The other time when I spoke about when we were discussing, I did talk about the friend's wife who was scammed. I mean, when they received a call from the an alleged HMRC call saying that her tax something wasn't right, and then the person, the husband wasn't in, so you went to the panic frenzy, and then the next moment paid up to £2,000.
Oh dear.
So when the husband came and they said, they called, they said after blah blah blah, and there's complaint. The husband said, no, it's a scam.
Oh my God.
But she'd already parted with that money. I don't know whether she's managed to reclaim that money. And this morning, interestingly, whilst I was getting myself ready, I saw that I was expecting some calls. Then I saw that this number, I don't know it. Let me pick up. They said, your NI number has been used, blah, 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 blah. You have to. I was waiting patiently because I wanted to really talk to them. I pressed 1 and then they didn't. Then I decided to just hang up. Now, so it is something that is going on that if you are not, if you don't take care, you might fall prey to it, and it will be. So what are some of these scams going on so that some of our listeners will know, those who don't know will know, and those who were not part of the program the last time we had a conversation on that will know as well.
Yeah, so first of all, I think is the first thing to establish is that HMRC will never contact you and ask you for your bank details or your personal information, or send you notification by email or text for things concerning tax rebates or refunds or personal payment information. HMRC will never do that. And if they have to contact you by phone, usually or email, they would quote your tax reference number.
That's right.
That is something that these scammers do not have. And so they will not be able to put it in a text or in an email. Some of these contacts come, as you've described, some of the contacts, the scams we've had so far, either by text, and it will tell you you have a tax refund for this year, blah blah blah, and that contact us on this number or click 1, and then to contact us. And then once you contact them, they'll start to have the conversation with you, and they'll try to retrieve bank details, or sometimes in certain cases they manage to get people to hand over money to get their tax refund. Most common as well sometimes are emails, and then you'd get an email with and then in the email it has hmrc.gov.co something. It looks very realistic. If you are not very careful, it can catch anybody out. Also about refunds or tax rebates, and telephone calls have been coming in. We've seen the telephone calls coming where sometimes, as you described, they threaten you basically that you're going to go to jail or something, a tax fraud associated with your accounts or NI number. So we know all those kind of things are going on.
Well, listeners, If you don't know, now you know. Maybe you have some questions. Maybe you had some experience and you want to share with us, or you want advice, as Amani Man is saying that, well, if you've fallen prey to that as well, we will be advising you maybe what you can do to do that. So, Mr. Tabiri, how do somebody spot this? Assuming somebody's gotten an email from HMRC, you look at initially at a quick glance, you can just say, oh, this is an email from HMRC. But when you're going to reply it, you can see that those of us who scrutinize this will find out that no, that address there, clicking on it doesn't go to the HMRC. Now, how will other people spot that out, sir?
Yeah, so you first of all, check the email address carefully. What the scammers try to do is that they would set up an email address, sometimes even it's a Gmail or a Hotmail account with HMRC somewhere in between. So if you don't check the email address correctly, that's you get caught out. So that's one way to find out. So check the email address, check the full email address. It might have hmrc.gov.uk at hotmail.com or at Gmail or at whatever. But the email address of HMRC is not a Google account. It's a gov.co.uk account.
Yeah.
So it should be very easy.
Yeah. Okay.
You could also, they sometimes take images from HMRC website, the logos and things like that, just to make it a bit more convincing. So look at it carefully. If you see an original image, sometimes the image is very poor quality. And you can see that this has been adapted from somewhere. Also check the language that they're using. The language is usually very threatening. They come across very aggressive.
Yeah.
Because the whole idea is to get you to react very quickly to them, not consult or get help from anywhere, so that before they are found out, they manage to grab your money and go. And also, if you get some of these things out of the blue, if it's unexpected, that is also something that you should be worried about. HMRC will not contact you out of the blue. Usually, if they have to call you about a tax debt or anything like that, or refunds, they would have sent letters, actual letters in the post to you. So they won't get contact you out of the blue. And then also where the email is asking for personal details, also be warned. And also where sometimes they put in, especially if it comes onto your phone via text message, they'll put a link in there to click on this link and then get in touch with us. Please don't click on any of such links, because they may have malware in those links, where they may take control over your phone and be able to access your bank accounts on your phone, or access your details, passwords, etc. that you have on your account, and take over completely. So those are the things that we need to watch out for.
Okay. Listeners, Starr Radio UK, Money Hour with our money man, Mr. Tabiri, CEO of GI Accountancy Services. Now, you have any issues pertaining to your accounting, name it, from archaeology to zoology, he will solve it out for you. Okay, if it's too tough, he will point you at the right direction. So in the right direction. So what about that? Make sure you listen to him all the time. There are lots of discussions I've had. If you go to our podcast session, they are all there. Or you go to the Starr Radio UK every Friday from 12:30. We have him on, and he's on today. And today we are looking at scams, various scams. Yes. Okay. Now, so. Let me leave it with you, then you can touch on the others and what people can do there as well. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So before we look at what actions to take if you receive some of these, what we need to note is that When they contact you, usually they use a tax rebate to entice you, get you interested. Especially at this time where people are struggling, with money and worried about their jobs and all that. These scams are thriving because they know people are worried and people are thinking about where the next money is going to come from. And so it's becoming very, very popular. They know that if they entice you with a tax rebate, you will be interested and you would follow their instructions. So they entice you and then they ask for your personal details, your name, your address, your date of birth, and then they might ask you to confirm your bank or credit card details so that they make issue your repayment to you. In several instances, they've gotten so many details of people, even their mother's maiden names and all that. And once they get that information, they either use it or they sell that information on to other criminal gangs who use the details for all sorts of things. So as tempting as a rebate may sound, if you're not sure, you're interested, I would say get in touch, find another way to get in touch with. If you receive such communication, get in touch with HMRC and find out about some of these, about the contact, whether it's real or not. If you are not expecting any rebate, like I said, it's very unlikely that out of the blue HMRC will email you about a tax rebate. Usually they would write to you in such instances. So that is something to watch out for. Tax phishing emails purporting to be from HMRC can happen at any time, but the most common times we see around the tax filing and tax payment deadline, because they know that around those times people expect HMRC contact. So it is another time that we see a heightened rise in the contacts in these scams, and so people need to be aware. So if you get those contacts around tax filing date or deadline, then just be aware or be cautious with that type of contact.
Okay, interesting.
So if you receive some of these, like we have discussed, if you receive an email or a text message with a link in it to send you or link you to a website, please don't put any personal details on there. Certainly do not click on the link, because it might have malware in there that would be used to steal information off your phone. So be very, 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 very cautious about that. Then we've looked at how to spot the signs of the emails, that they'll come usually with threatening language, especially the voicemail. Some of them, as I've listened to one where they say, "We are sending the police to your door right now and you're going to jail." And you can imagine, if you are an older person who is not savvy with all the online text, and you get a phone call on your landline, they target the elderly. And who are living by themselves, and they get some of these calls and they think it's genuine, it's authentic, and then they hand over lots of their savings to these groups. So it's a very, very serious matter. Do not share any personal details online. Usually they'll call you and say, especially they would mimic HMRC calls and try to make it look authentic, and then ask you to confirm some details so that they verify you, as the person they are talking to. That is a way in which they used to take details of you. So, for example, if you've got a password, HMRC will never ask you to confirm all of your passwords.
Yeah.
If at all, they would ask you to confirm some letters or some digits in the password. You are aware of that. If they ask you to confirm your password, know that it's a scam. Do not give any information away easily. Yeah. Now, if you come across any of these scams, HMRC have opened a portal or telephone number for people to report these suspicious calls, text or emails that they receive. If you forward it on to HMRC, they will look into it and try and get to the bottom of it, and hopefully to stop the scam or stop these people, duping people and stealing our money. So if you have managed to identify them as a scam, then you report it to HMRC. If you have fallen victim to the scam, then your only course of remedy is to report it to Action Fraud.
Action Fraud.
So call the Action Fraud hotline or report it online. Give them as much details as possible in terms of how the contact was made, any records that you have, telephone numbers for the contact, email address, the actual email or text messages that you receive, and everything that happened. If you give them the full information, then they will try some of these. They would have information on some of these scams because other people have been scammed as well.
Yeah.
But it would help them. It would help the police to be able to go after these people. And if you are lucky, they may be able to retrieve your money for you through the banking system.
And that was where I was coming to, because some people would think that, well, if my money cannot be retrieved or I cannot get my money back, then what's the point? And then some people decide, well, they just call it something that is lost, and then just decide to forget about it. But I don't think that is something that they have to do.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's important that we stop these people. These scams are ongoing because obviously they have been successful in very successful, I must say, in other cases. So they are making a lot of money doing these scams, and we need to report it. We need to stop it. If you are able to spot it, remember that somebody else might be a victim. Okay, out of every 100 that spots this scam, there are about at least five people who are not able to spot it, and they become victims to this kind of crime. So it's important to report anything that comes across.
But if assuming I'm with somebody, or maybe in the office or somewhere, and then I can see that is a scam, that the person is the person feeling that is the truth, and so feeling that that is being convinced to do something about it. Do you think that if I'm advising the person is not okay, can I call the HMRC or this the Action Fraud to help the person in that step?
Absolutely. I mean, HMRC, they are, what we need to understand that they are vulnerable people for all sorts of reasons in our society, and they are the ones who fall victim most to some of these scams. So if you are a good neighbor, if I can call it that way, then you have to help out. It might seem so obvious to you, some of these scams, but for some people, they're going through so many issues, so many things in their life. Sometimes their head is not even straight, and some of these things come along and they make all the wrong decisions. So definitely HMRC will be happy to speak to anybody who is willing to help another person deal with this scam situation.
Okay. So you see, if you are listening to us, you could be your neighbor's keeper. Okay, you could be your neighbor's keeper. If you see that the person is falling prey to that, please help out, and you can call the Action Fraud line. But Mr. Tabiri, before we round up everything, can you just sum it all up nicely, and then we can put your contact details across for listeners to know. He is the CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, and you have anything from A to Z when it comes to accounting, you have to just contact him, and I promise you, you will see the difference in there. From rates to what? Name it. Okay, so over to you, Mr. Tabiri.
Yeah, so I think you've summed it up beautifully. We all need to be each other's keeper. And also to remember, HMRC will not contact you on social media, will not contact you on Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter. No, HMRC still uses their main forms of communication is by letter. If they have to contact you by text or email, they would definitely would have contacted you by letters before. So you would not, out of the blue, receive text messages concerning refunds or rebates. So we should all just be aware of the situation. If you are in doubt, do not give any information. Cancel the call and then call a reputable HMRC number that you know or you can find, and you know, get the facts as they are. Don't give any details. If you have any doubts, go to the original source and get that clarified. If you have any concerns or need any advice regarding these matters or any tax or accountancy issues, I'm happy to speak to you on 079-6124-8834, 079-6124-8834. Otherwise, you can also reach me on email at dan@gilaccountants.com. dan@gilaccountants.com.
Okay, listener, that is our own Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, coming your way today. And today we've looked at the various scams that is going around, and we don't want you to fall victim to it. So, with the discussion that we had so far, please make sure you get in touch. If you see someone who is falling prey to that, please call the Action Fraud line, and then they will help out. But for all your accounting issues, as he said, contact him and he will help you on that front. Mr. Tabiri, let me say thank you very, very much for this wonderful time with you once again.
You're most welcome, and it's been a pleasure. Look forward to speaking with you again next week.
Thank you very much. Regards to the family.
I will do. Thank you.
Right. Okay, so that is Mr. Tabiri for you. The scams, the various scams, they are going around like no man's business. Yesterday, or even this morning too, I had another message coming through. But, you know, open your eyes. Somebody says shine your eyes, but whatever it is, make sure that you are actually checking and making sure not to click when you don't have to click. All right. So this is where I bring the program to a close. For those of you in Nigeria, we hope and pray that everything is peaceful in that election that's going to be taking place tomorrow. If you want to go vote, you go vote, leave the place, go home. There's no need hanging about. Don't do that. Don't do that, because you might not know a stray bullet or something. You don't want to be caught in anything of the sort. If you don't want to vote, stay at home. Stay at home and keep your peace. The old Bob Marley, the late Bob Marley, they say something. He said, if you've he who fights and run away lose to fight another day. So it's better for you to go hide yourself in your house or wherever and keep yourself there, so that you will have your life to tomorrow come back and come and fight whatever cause that you are fighting, rather than going there, being maimed or being killed or anything of the sort. There is no point for that. But now, that's why I bring the program to a close for today. And on that note, let me say, God richly bless you, and thank you very much to each and every one of you who tuned in today to listen to us. And until I come your way on Monday with another edition of the morning show, which we will bring you a live report of what took place in Nigeria over the weekend. Yes, this is Ejabia, and she says, stay with me and let me tell you some nice stuff. When that song ends and you don't hear from me, it's been me, the one and only Archie, saying bye-bye for now.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Thanks for listening.